What is up, you guys? It is me, SEC. Okay, so in today's video, as you can tell by the title of the video, we are doing another devotion. And for today's devotion, the title is called, Who is Your Power Source? And if you like devotions, then give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you are new here and you want to see more of me, then hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the little notification bell so you know when I upload. And yeah, without further ado, let's get on the video. Woo! Okay, so like I said, in today's video, like the title of today's devotion is Who is Your Power Source? And I had this come up a couple weeks ago, but then I kind of left it alone. Just didn't really think about it. But then the Lord reminded me of something. And so I was like, okay, we need to do this video, okay? So I'm a really stubborn person. There's two things about me that are like really, really bad traits that I have. I'm very stubborn and I'm very, very clumsy. So when these two things combined, they're not very good things that happen out of it. So the other day, I would let my dog Cambo go out and go to the bathroom. And so typically he'll just go and then come inside, or he'll just lay outside and eventually come inside. But that particular day, he just laid down. And I was like ready. Come on, I gotta go back to work. Let's just get this over with. And instead, he laid down. And so I was like, peace out. I'm leaving you. So I left him. And like 5 or 10 minutes later, he was still laying there. So I finally got mad enough. And I carried my phone out in my hand. I was just like stomping the ground, very upset. And somehow I stepped and my phone went straight into the deep end. And so, yeah. I was very frustrated. I was very frantic, like panicking, like, what do I do? What do I do? Not thinking like a normal person, just dive in. I was like, okay, I need to do this, this, this. And so I did all that thinking, but then it was obviously dead. It was dead by the time it hit the water, but I was still determined to get that phone out of the water. So I finally got it out, put it in water, did all that stuff. Obviously it didn't work, and it turned out that the battery was dead, the circuit board was fried, like everything, it was goner. So I eventually got a new phone, and you can tell that by being able to communicate right now. But it was so frustrating because I was like, if Cambo would have just came on. But it wasn't just Cambo, it was also me being stubborn and not letting him come out. We were both being stubborn, and then my clumsiness took over, and I just, yeah. It was very frustrating, but it got me thinking. And I had already wrote this devotion when I had that happen, but I didn't really think anything about it. And then a couple days ago, the Lord just reminded me of it, and it just laid me on my heart. So I'm now filming it so y'all can enjoy it too. But Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But as humans, we like to disregard that someone out there can do everything. Because we want to be that person. We want to be able to do it all by ourselves, and we don't want anyone's help. That's where each of our stubbornness comes in. So, as Christians, we can sometimes ask God for something and expect it right then, because we ask for help. Like, that's a big enough thing. We should get that right then. And it doesn't always happen that way. And when it doesn't happen that way, instead of getting closer to the Lord and instead of reading His Word and figuring out why He's making us wait, we will replace Him. Just like how that battery, I thought my battery was dead. I didn't think anything about the circuit board being fried. So my phone had the ability to take the battery out. So I'd replace the battery. And nope, that didn't work. But I kept trying. I kept replacing the battery. It was gone. It was dead. And if we do that with God, then we're replacing Him with other things. And we can really easily do that in today's society, because I don't know about y'all, but it is easy for me to get wrapped up in other things and forget about my me time with the Lord. So I'll be like, oh, I've got piano, oh, I've got church, oh, I've got this, I've got that, I've got this. And they're all good things, but the second that it replaces your time with God, then that becomes a God to you, whether it be drugs, alcohol, telephone, TV, anything that replaces your time with the Lord, then that becomes your Lord. And that's so easy to do. But when we do that, we end up falling on our face eventually. We might not do it the second we do it, but eventually the Lord's going to get tired of waiting on you, and He's going to be like, okay, reality check. I mean, just like if you continually put a new battery in there, it's eventually going to just give up. And okay, so if not even just a phone, if you have anything with batteries or any sort of electronic device, anything most of the time nowadays runs on electricity and runs on batteries. So if you're on your phone all the time and you never charge it, it's eventually gonna die. So if you keep relying on the Lord to do everything, that's what you're supposed to do. Good job. But if you just kind of forget about Him, if you just kind of, toss Him over there until I need it, the next time you need Him, then He's not gonna be charged. He's not gonna be ready. Obviously, He will be ready, but you know what I mean. Your relationship will not be close enough, and He'll be like, who are you? I don't know you. So when we replace the Lord with other things, it's like putting in another person's battery or not charging it. It's like if you put macaroni and cheese instead of AA batteries into a remote. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work, and you're going to be like, well, I don't understand. It's just like when you replace the Lord with something like alcohol, and then you need Him again. It's going to be like, well, why doesn't it work? Why is He not helping me? Well, maybe it's because you need to recheck and reevaluate where you are with Him. And when there's another side to this story. So if you're close with Him and you have been reading your Bible and you have done all these things, then He calls you to do something. But then you're like, well, I'm not adequate enough. I'm not worthy enough. Well, no, you're not. But through Him, you can do all things, just like Philippians 4:13 says. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And without Him, you're not going to be able to do it. Just like Jonah, he could not have went to Nineveh by himself. And that's why with doubting Him and replacing Him with other things, that he turned his back on God. So then he got swallowed up by a whale. I mean, not saying that you'll get swallowed up, but you could. I mean, you get swallowed up with other things in the world, so why couldn't you do that? Then with Moses, he said, I stutter. I mean, I can't do that. So, but he did. But he could not have split the Red Sea without the Lord. Just like you could not turn the TV on with those AA batteries without those AA batteries. Or you could not use your phone unless you charge it. So what I'm trying to say is, without the Lord, you're nothing. You can't do anything that you would really want to do and what you desire to do. But with replacing it with the worldly things, that's not going to help get you closer to what your calling is. And if you ask the Lord for something, He won't give it to you right then, but He will eventually if you continue with your word and continue with your fellowship with Him. But by replacing Him, He can't help you if He's not there. If you don't have a relationship with Him, then He can't help you. I mean, He can't come to your aid if He doesn't know you, or if you don't know Him. It's like calling out to a stranger. It's not likely that they're going to help. I mean, especially in this day and time. So what I'm asking y'all today is, who is your power source? Is it the Lord? Or is it food? Or is it alcohol? Or is it drugs? Or is it your phone? Or is it TV? Or is it other things of this world? Or is it the Lord? That's what it comes down to. And if you say, yes, I fully am with the Lord, that is my thing, then you need to, and you're still not having results, then you need to double check, what's going on in your life. Are you spending time with him? Are you focusing on him more than yourself? And then reevaluate what's going on around you. If you're hanging out with people that don't have the Lord as their power source, then they're going to end up draining you. Just like if you let someone else borrow your charger, it's going to end up weakening that charger to where it can't charge you as well, your phone as well. So just continue to think about that and remember that he is your power source. And even if you are called to do something that you don't think you're able to do, he can do it through you. And that's what I'm going to continue talking about next week. So if y'all want to hear more about what he is capable of doing, then watch next week's video, or stay tuned and turn the notification bell so you know when I actually post it. And yeah, I hope you guys really liked it. And once again, if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.